sure low. It'll be grand.
This week, we're going where no men have ever dared go before. A place of madness, mystery, high octane thrills.
Are we doing Doctor Strange again?
That place, the Danger Zone. We're going right into the Danger Zone. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Sure It'll Be Grand is back for another installment. And this week, sorry, I suppose I should say, hi, Dan. How are you?
Hello, yes.
I'm here.
No, they're aware that I'm here. It's strange that you're here.
I'm here,
stage.
yeah. Dan replaced me. I'm still very hurt and upset, but I'm putting it all aside for the sake of the show.
I should mention the comic one that we've been recording 4 episodes so far, and then
for the sake of the show, I've decided to let it go. All right, and I'm gonna put on a brave face and pretend like it's not hurting.
Well, look, I'm fairly sure that you're very driven, and you're probably doing like 3 or 4 of your own programs.
I'm very hurt and upset right now, is what I am. Which is not a good state of mind to be in when you're flying high-octane vehicles. We're doing this week, we thought, you know what? I said, what better way to celebrate Pride Month than by doing...
And the movie Contact
by doing the gayest movies ever made in the history of the world.
Oh my God, and isn't it just...
We are... The main movie this week is, of course, Top Gun Maverick, and we will also talk about the original Top Gun a little bit. We were going to do a Splitting Hairs. At one point, this was going to be a Splitting Hairs. I think last year at some point we had this on the schedule, and then Top Gun Maverick got delayed again. So now we're just doing Top Gun Maverick. I have neither the energy nor the inclination to argue with myself over which of these two movies I love more, because I am a top. I really like.
I have an opinion.
I really like both of them.
I have an opinion on that.
You don't get an opinion. This is my show. You have your own show with Kevin. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. I said I wasn't. It's okay. We'll move on. Yeah, we're doing Top Gun Maverick, everybody. For those of you who don't know, Top Gun Maverick was released last week globally. It's a smash hit sensation. The highest grossing, the highest box office opening weekend of Tom Cruise's career, which was weird, which is
big deal to say, by the way.
It sounded mad to me that this is the most success. Like, I think domestically, so far, as of the date of this recording,
it almost made a more billion amount of money, you know?
Worldwide, Top Gun Maverick currently sits at about $600 million worldwide, as of the date that we are recording this. So quite a lot of money being made by Top Gun Maverick. It is a legacy sequel to the original 1986.
Yes, that's the term that's starting to use more often now, isn't it? It's
legacy sequel?
When it's more like not reboot, but it's like shaking up an old franchise and then making a sequel to it.
Yeah, it's a sequel that comes out a long time after the original, I guess.
Though they've been planning on making a sequel for a while.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
The original Top Gun, of course, directed by Tony Scott, released in 1986, starring Tom Cruise, etc. Val Kilmer, of course, also in the original, was about the elite Top Gun school of American naval aviation pilot training.
While they were at war with
men.
The enemy.
The war with unspecified enemies, which is cool. I love that part. So Top Gun Maverick is the sequel. Obviously came out, what are we fucking talking, 18, 19, I can't do math. 2022 minus 1986. Come on, Dan, hit me. How many years has it been since the original
like
Top Gun?
38 years or something like that, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
36 years. Let's go with that.
Like that.
All right.
Yeah.
It's been that long since the original Top Gun. So this one, not directed by the wonderful Tony Scott. This one is directed by a Mr. Joseph Kosinski.
Who has an interesting collection of movies.
Quite strange, yes. His CV contains Tron Legacy.
Yes, which to be fair, also a legacy sequel.
Also, yes. Oblivion, which was Tom Cruise's foray into sci-fi, which I actually saw that in the cinemas when it came out and thought it was quite
it
bad.
Wasn't stupid high octane stuff. It was actually quite
it was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. And then Joseph Kosinski kind of went a bit strange, and he did a music video for Lady Gaga, which it's the Lady Gaga song from the soundtrack to Top Gun Maverick, obviously, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Before that, he did a short film for Taco Bell.
Yes, he did. Web of Fries.
Web of Fries. And he's got a new film coming out later this year called Spiderhead, which I think has famous people in it. Huh? Who would have thunk it? Yeah, it's got Miles Teller and the guy who plays Thor. What's his name? Chris Hemsworth. He's in that one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming out later this year. Anyway, yeah, he directed this. So not the first time he's worked with the star of this movie, franchise now, I guess we'll call it, Mr. Cinema himself, Tom Jeremy Cruise. I don't know if his middle name is Jeremy. I've made that up. Thomas Cruise, the greatest movie star in history, Mr. Thomas Cruise.
You know, I heard something like this is from I was listening to another podcast about this movie as well, and they said there was an interview they had, and they said, you know, it's taking like 36 years for you to make this sequel. Do you think you'll make this the sequel in another 36 years, or do you think you'll still be alive? And he says, no, I'll be here, I'll be alive, like very sincerely and motivated, like he is going to be there in 36 years.
And he's going to fucking fly those jets. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
He won't. He's going to be killed in a freak aeroplane accident in the next decade, probably, Tom Cruise.
No.
We'll all be here to see it.
Xenu, or whatever he worship, is going to come and save him. Yeah,
sure.
Is that the one they worship or they hate? I don't know.
Who knows, man? Who the fuck knows? Yeah, also in this Top Gun Maverick movie, Miles Teller, who we love, whose character I'm just now copying is named Bradley Bradshaw. So there's a name, aka Rooster. Sorry, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. I should say plays Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell.
But Rooster is just the best call name so far, in my opinion.
You got Rooster. You've got Jennifer Connelly, stunning. We love her.
Yeah,
who Benjamin.
Yeah, who was a character that was kind of hinted at in the previous movie, because she wasn't in it. But she was hinted at he was dating an admiral's daughter, and that's all we get referenced. But this is the admiral's daughter.
This is her. Yeah. Rest of the cast: John Hamm as Cyclone Simpson, who is the commander of the Air Forces. Glenn Powell, who I know from the smash hit seminal 2018 rom-com Set It Up. Brilliant film. Everyone should watch it. Glenn Powell also magnetic in this. He's brilliant.
John Hamm is the angry principal like character that no one really gets on with, but eventually he like begrudgingly gives the support and nod.
Yeah. And then we got Lewis Pullman, Ed Harris, Monica Barbaro plays Phoenix. She's pretty good in this. Charles Parnell plays Warlock. Jay Ellis is Payback. Danny Ramirez as Fanboy, and Val Kilmer is back. And I'll leave that for a little bit later. I do want to talk about Val Kilmer.
I would say I like that moment before we get to it. I like that moment.
It's nice and it's well done. We'll get there later.
We'll talk about
Top Gun, of course, weirdly based on a newspaper article that came out in like 1983 that kind of just talked about the Naval Aviation School and
and
all that kind of
apparently
stuff.
a big thing of that as well is that they went to the Navy and kind of went like, hey, we want to make a movie based on the stuff you do, and I think the Navy just kind of went like, you don't have to glorify it, but you do have to show that people work hard here in what they believe. And that was the only condition. Like, you don't have to like this doesn't have to be like a wank job for the military. This just has to be people work hard here and they're dedicated.
It didn't have to be, but boy was it. Let's go into what the hell is going on here.
What the hell is going on?
Okay, so I mean, we'll do a quick recap of the original Top Gun, I suppose. First, let's talk about that. All right. So Top Gun, released in 1986, directed by Tony Scott, who a lot of people love. For anybody who's not familiar with the name, he's done lots of things that you probably have seen. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Many might say the better Beverly Hills Cop. I don't really know. Days of Thunder, which is basically Top Gun, but it's about NASCAR drivers and also has Tom Cruise in it. The Last Boy Scout, True Romance, Enemy of the State, Man on Fire, Domino, Deja Vu, The Taking of Pelham 123, the remake from like 2009. He's done lots of things, and he had kind of a heyday period in like the late 80s, early 90s. Does a lot of those like 80s sunset shot type things, which there are a ton of in Top Gun and in Days of Thunder and lots of his other work. He's really good at setting, like making things look beautiful, I think, Tony Scott. Top Gun, the original follows...
Top Gun, you could take a postcard from any...
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah. So, yeah, plot-wise, it's pretty simple. The plots of these things are pretty simple. Follows a Pete Mitchell, who is a jet pilot for the U.S. Navy, and he gets selected to head to what the Navy, or what the pilots call Top Gun, which is their elite academy for training the best of the best graduate from Top Gun. And it was, they tell the story that it was created during the Vietnam War to like reinstill the concept of like aerial combat and stuff in their pilots, because they were getting their fucking asses handed to them by the Viet Cong probably. And it worked, so they kept it going. Maverick is... Yeah, he gets into Top Gun. He's cocky. He's arrogant. He's abrasive. He flies by his own fucking rules. He does what he wants when he wants. He's a pilot, and by God, he's good at it. And that's essentially that's Maverick.
Also, interesting. It's not meant to poke fun at him at all, but this is one of the few movies that they kept Tom Cruise at his normal height back in the day, and because the new movie came around, they decided to keep it that way as well.
Yeah,
he's just a shorter guy, which makes sense. A lot of pilots are shorter as well.
Oh, well, it is a rare instance where they don't like forcibly make you think Tom Cruise is the same height as or taller than everyone else.
I always wonder, is like Tom Cruise involved in that, or is it the studio?
That was what everybody always assumed it was him. I think. Yeah. There was always this notion that like, oh yeah, no, that's definitely like Tom Cruise. He hates the fact that he's short. I don't think he's ever really.
But he's been on chat shows the whole time. Yeah. We've never seen heels on him. Like
he's never really demonstrated outside of films that he doesn't like being the height that he is. You know what I mean? I think it was a studio thing that they were like, fuck man, this guy is so good as a leading action movie man. If only he was several inches taller.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
It's been a change in that. Nowadays, even within Marvel, they kind of now made it optional for a lot of the male leads. Like, you can bulk up if you want. You don't have to.
I mean, I always got the impression that Chris Pratt was about 5'5". Could be totally wrong. He's probably not, but he reads as a short man to me.
Nah, if you watch Parks and Rec, he's pretty tallish.
Maybe everybody else in Parks and Rec is small.
Fair, that's a fairly good statement to make. They could be.
They are, yeah. You never know. So Top Gun. All right, that's basically it. Maverick is in flight school, and he's a fucking bit of a jackass, and he's got his wingman. He's got Goose. He's got his fucking... he's got the guys he hates, Iceman, and the other guy.
And they really brought this into the sequel as well. Like, they have douchebags in it. But at the same time, you kind of love them. And like Glenn Powell is the big one, like the hangman. He's so the douchey big douchebag of the one. But you need that kind of dude on the team. You need that confrontation.
Yeah, you have to be that guy. If you're the man flying the jet at Mach 10 flying around.
I'm going to jump forward to that scene at the very end where they're like Tom Cruise and Russo are about to get shot down, and Hangman fucking knocks out of the park out of nowhere. Goosebumps. I literally like, oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess while we're still on Top Gun 1, just for another little while, did you always like Top Gun?
No. I found it fine. Like, it was an enjoyable enough movie. I wasn't one of those people like, oh yeah, also he drives a motorbike up at like a highway, there's the sun in the background, volleyball, like, fair play for people being really into things. It wasn't the one that made me like, oh, this is great, this movie's wonderful. I have rewatched it, especially for this one. I enjoyed it more in the rewatch. I think maybe there's some fucking testosterone thing that gets unlocked as you get older as a male, where it's just like, yes, no, this is very good, yes. But I enjoyed it quite a lot more, and I enjoyed we'll leave that till later on. But the sequel,
I always really loved the original Top Gun. But it's the height of 80s dad movie, while
And
also
and it knew it. It knew
I
it.
knew exactly what it was. Like, it's not like it's
Yeah, it completely did. It respected itself as well in that regard. It took the piss out itself, but it's the best way to compare it is it's like Cobra Kai. It knows all it's doing is cheesy, but it does it really fucking well.
yeah, 100%.
You know?
It's but everything about it, even from the soundtrack, like you've got Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone, you've got the other one, the slow one, the I can't think of the name of the song. This the Take My Breath Away. There it goes. Take my breath away. It's got power ballads coming out its ass, and it's also got a score on top of that. It's got an incredibly charismatic cast, I think. Like Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise are just electric in Top Gun. They're like, it's honest to God. I like Tom Cruise. I think he's great. I think he's done. I just like him.
Look, again, I don't know what happened in private.
No, look,
and frankly, it's none of our business either.
The Scientology stuff is weird. All right, I get it. That's a weird thing that he has going on. But in terms of his movies, I think he's great. I think he's a genuinely
and super entertaining and I would say very talented.
He's a generational star.
I mean, last we watched Last Samurai.
Yeah.
And as faulty as that movie is, by God, does he make it shine?
And then, so I always loved Top Gun, and this is the legacy sequel. And I guess while we're on the subject of Tom Cruise, I found this one very interesting. In a lot of the plot feels like a direct parallel for Tom Cruise's career.
Okay.
So the Top Gun Maverick, right? The subplot of like what's going on in the background. For those who don't know, it's whatever 40 years after the original Top Gun. Maverick has only made it to the rank of captain, and everyone says, "No, you should be at least a 2-star admiral by now." But you don't listen to the rules, Mav. You don't listen to
the Navy.
Like your buddy Iceman, he's running the entire fucking Navy, and you're still a captain, test flying stealth planes or whatever you're doing. But I'm the first man to fly Mach 10, aren't I? Anyway, Mav is still a fucking jackass, more or less. Like he's brilliant though. I think this this if anything is like Tom Cruise is just perfect at playing Mav. He slips right back into it. But the subplot behind this whole thing is basically the Navy, the big wigs in the Navy want to kind of shut down. They don't want men flying planes anymore. They want to use drones. That's their whole. The starts off as like you're
because the enemy is also like more advanced stealth things now.
They tell Mav at the start of it, after he like blows up a $20 million Mach 10 stealth plane, you are a dinosaur. You're a thing in the past. We don't need you anymore. The
theater of war has changed.
You know what I mean? Yeah, everything. The landscape has changed. We don't need you anymore. And
you're also like 60 years old.
Yeah.
Technically, you shouldn't be allowed in that airplane.
Technically, your vision at least should have deteriorated by now. You should at least be wearing glasses up there, Mav. But to me, I just think that's Tom Cruise, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's not a dinosaur, right? But you could call him that. Like he's
in
the
Hollywood
last,
terms, he is a dinosaur.
Tom Cruise is the last great action star. We don't have them anymore. We don't have anybody like.
They come around once in a while, but that usually has cameo performances.
Yeah, but they don't. There's nobody that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
There's nobody does what he did for the last 30 or 40 years.
Yeah.
What we have now, and it's not. I'm not saying. This is not to draw us into a commentary on whether or not this is a change for the better or whatever. Like you have superheroes now, right? You have your Chris Hemsworths and everything.
Yeah, they're action.
They are and they aren't. Like there are differences in them, I think. But like
that's on the line.
Tom Cruise to me is the last action hero. To say that term.
Arnold Schwarzenegger just comes out of nowhere.
Excuse me, I think you'll find I'm the last thing. I don't know what it was. I started.
Famously known Austrian accented man.
I started to do it, and then I realized it came out as the thing that lives in a trash can on Sesame Street. And I just stopped.
Good old Otto. Isn't it Otto?
Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar, that's it. Yeah, Oscar the Grouch.
Otto von Bismarck.
But that's the German version. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that and much of this movie. We mentioned legacy sequels earlier, so
Yeah.
Legacy sequel is generally a sequel to a movie that's it comes out a long time after the original, and that's
Star
part of
Wars.
The Force Awakens is a legacy sequel. All right,
Twice. Technically a legacy prequel at one stage as well with the prequel series.
Yeah. Like Mad Max Fury Road is a legacy sequel. Tron Legacy is a legacy sequel. The last Halloween that came out is a legacy sequel. And a lot of the
Obi-Wan Kenobi as well.
Yeah, to an extent. But a lot of the times the plot of a legacy sequel kind of revolves around a passing of the baton almost.
Yeah.
Creed is the biggest example, I think. Creed is a legacy sequel. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant movie. It does it perfectly. But the whole thing is passing on the franchise, right? It's giving you the next guy who's going to take the franchise forward. It passes it from Sylvester Stallone to Michael B. Jordan in Creed, right? That's generally part of the thing. Is the old guy is here. He can't really do it anymore, so he kind of fights with it for a little while, and then he agrees, okay, the young guy can do
Except he can definitely do it this time.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like Top Gun Maverick is a legacy sequel. That's like, actually, no, it's just he's the only one who can do it. Actually, we're not gonna we're gonna think about it for a little while. Maybe we're gonna talk about maybe Rooster and Hangman can do it. But actually, at the end of the day, it's not the plane, it's the pilot. And Maverick is the only pilot worth a shit apparently around here.
Yeah,
none of the rest of you kids could do it.
Like he definitely has some weird. No, but he definitely has some weird mutation here as well. Like he's like beyond naturally good.
It's
like there's something gone wrong.
He's 60 years of age, and he
yeah.
absolutely shits all over these kids.
Like give it another 200 generations, and his family will have wings.
It's insane, and I thought it's really interesting that this is the one it's a proper legacy sequel, but the legacy is basically actually Maverick is the best.
Yeah,
he's the guy. There's nobody else.
Yeah,
I know he came second in flight school, but he's the guy.
I do want to actually talk about the younger pilots though, because they are.
Yeah.
There's some really good characters there. There seems to be a 2-tier system where the main ones are just like Hangman and Rooster and Halo to a degree, but a lot of the other pilots have great moments and great quips, but they definitely take a back step and let the main Hangman and Rooster argue and give out to each other. It seems to be at first everyone's on board, everyone's on the front line, everyone's joking, talking, messing around with the planes, getting their lines in. But sure enough, eventually most of those pilots kind of step in the background, but in a tasteful way, I guess.
Yeah, Rooster and Hangman are the big two, right?
Yeah.
They're it's not even it's I suppose it's is it what's the right word? It's more than implied. It's not an implication, right? That Hangman is the best of them.
Yeah.
Rooster is
Rooster being he could be the best.
He could
if he
be.
Wasn't held back
He's got a lot to prove, and he's
Yeah.
blah blah. Sometimes he lets
He's
himself
Vegeta.
down. Do you know that kind of thing? Yeah.
He's Vegeta. Yeah.
Phoenix's thing appears to be that she's a woman. She's very talented.
No, I don't think
it's not. They don't make a thing out of
it.
it, but she is the only woman.
Yeah. Well,
they say it once. I think Hangman makes a joke about it at one point.
No, that's two. That's two.
Is there another woman pilot?
Phoenix and Halo.
Who's Halo?
Let me just IMDb this. Cara Wang, Lieutenant Callie Halo Bassett.
I don't remember her at all.
Yes, maybe you should have been paying attention.
Maybe I should go see this movie again. I probably will anyway, to be quite honest, because I loved that.
Also, another secondary character who I just genuinely loved was Woe Number 1, Bernie Hondo Coleman. He seems to basically be the nanny for the younger pilots. That guy who stays by and makes them do their push-ups. The guy who's always...
Tom Cruise's technician guy.
Yeah.
And
I really enjoyed him. He was just straight up.
He's great man for a reaction shot as well in this movie.
Yeah, but loyal as hell as well. He went right up to the admiral and went, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, he's
You know?
he's cool. I liked him actually as well.
Yeah. Charles Parnell as Warlock. He was definitely the character that's like, okay, when we need the narrative to continue, we need you to come onto the camera and say about how the enemy has advanced or something along the lines of that. And we have to, that's what you do. Okay, man? All right, cool. That's what his character was. He just walked in front of the students once and said, yeah, you're the best of the best. Anyway, here's Tom Cruise.
Way to
Teach
go.
you how to fly. Yeah, the enemy's coming. It's getting bad. You better start
Better get out of there.
working better.
Gotta get out of there, Mav.
Hello, John Hamm. Should we do something? No. Okay.
Good job, John Hamm.
Yeah.
He's John Hamm, isn't he? He doesn't do a whole lot.
To be fair, his character does do the whole thing. Like, would I chance everything to save these people? And he doesn't stand in the way in the end, because he does initially. Like, he does stop. No, we're not going in to save 2 people, but we did see Hangman eventually go and help them. So obviously he went, yeah, all right, go on. You know?
Yeah, or Hangman just did it.
I don't think it's one of the things you
never
just
know.
do get off and carry.
No, he was in
the Jackson with the Avengers. You just get on it and fly away.
He was in it anyway.
Yeah, but he was in it, but he was also not cleared for flight.
Ah, yeah.
And they can turn those things off. No, this is definitely not one of those things that you get away with.
Learned from the school of Mav. All right.
No.
Maverick
They can just turn the fucking thing off.
Yeah, but they're not gonna, are they? They're not gonna. They're not going to do that because this is Top Gun, all right? This is not real life. This is a Top Gun movie. And if Hangman wants to take a plane out unauthorized and save his best friends in the dogfight,
especially because even at the end, John Hamm does that nod of recognition. Like, he went that last bit. Went, okay,
he was.
Do at least something.
Do you reckon? I reckon he was fuming.
Oh, I'd say he hated the role.
Oh,
he had what, 3 scenes?
Oh
tops?
no, I don't mean John Hamm. I mean the character, like
Oh,
Cyclone.
no, okay.
At the end, I'd say he was
I just didn't think it was much of a role.
I think
John Hamm would be.
Yeah, but I like the Admiral at the end when Mav comes back. I'd say he was fucking raging, man.
Because he hated Maverick.
He hated
as well.
him. He was adamant. He was like, no. Give me any opportunity to get you the fuck out of here. Like he had literally grounded him.
Iceman was dead.
Yeah, he grounded him the day before. He was like, "Nah, you're done, man. You're never flying again." And then Maverick, what did Maverick do? He took a plane out unauthorized and he flew the whole goddamn mission with 15 seconds to spare. That's what Maverick Mitchell did. All right.
Yeah, but also let's be fair, they weren't on active duty at that case, and they were just training.
Yeah. All right. But he did it, didn't he? If the Admiral really wanted to stop me, he'd be like, hey, buddy, I'm going to turn off your plane now. Then Maverick would have crashed and he'd be dead.
Yeah, but you understand there's a difference between, okay, this is a training exercise, he's just being stupid, and he's going to engage the fucking enemy.
No, there's no difference.
No difference. No, all right, man.
See, this is why you would make it in Top Gun Academy, because...
Oh, yeah, Mr.
To really
fucking
make
it,
to really make it as a Top Gun Academy graduate, you need to understand there is no difference between training and real life. You got to treat everything as if it's your enemy.
Is that why he gets kicked out of that bar, because he kept taking his mobile phone out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah, sure. That's exactly why that happened.
I just wanted to reference that scene, to be honest. I just quite liked it.
Yeah. I do want to talk about Penny for a minute, because...
I like Penny in this. She was a badass.
I like her. I just think that is the weakest part of the movie, to me.
No, I don't agree. I think this is literally what Maverick needed the most.
No, not that. I mean, Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly had the on-screen chemistry of a limp towel.
Disagree.
I have to. No, this needs to be talked about. No, will I do it later? Okay, no, it's going to be my Jesus moment. We'll talk about it later. Let's move on from this. We'll come back around full circle. I'll bring it back up again.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, I just thought of it. Anyway, yeah. Listen, this is brilliant, isn't it? It's just brilliant. It's just a brilliant movie, all right? I cried.
I like the movie.
I cried. I laughed.
You're a bit rusty there, pal.
Listen, all right, I've had a lot going on. All right,
yeah. Well, can we mention that there is that one scene with Iceman and Maverick?
Yes, we will talk about that. So Val Kilmer is back for this one.
Did you think he was going to be in it?
I knew going in he was in it.
Okay, see, I didn't. I thought that they were just going to do it through the text. We should give a bit of a backstory.
Yeah, so
to what happened to
Val Kilmer, Val Kilmer plays Iceman in the original Top Gun, who's Maverick's like
I was supposed to say challenger, but like competitor, foe.
There's a word, and I can't think of the
know.
word.
I'm like an
Nemesis
orbit right now. No.
Because they don't. He's his whatever. They're like battling it out to be the number one in Top Gun Graduation Academy, and they're like completely polar opposites in how they fly. They explain that to you in the original Top Gun. Maverick's like does whatever he wants, and he's crazy. He's a lunatic. He flies around. Iceman's thing. He's called Iceman because he always remains cool, calm, and collected. And he never does anything wrong, to the point where he wins most times because he just the other guy gets tired and makes a mistake, and Iceman rival. Yeah, rival. That's the one. And Iceman does not make mistakes. That's his thing.
He's Iceman.
Yeah, he's Iceman. That's where he got the name.
Yeah.
So
he also loves ice cream. Fucking loves it.
Now, so Val Kilmer, for anybody who doesn't know, unfortunately. Has been fighting a long battle with throat cancer, and he has lost his voice. I think
at least it's damaged quite a lot. He can still talk in real life. Yeah.
Okay, well he doesn't, because he doesn't talk in this.
Yeah. No, he does.
He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, it's not him.
At the very end, he talks.
It's not him.
Not paid. But that's what his voice sounds like in real life.
They did a Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, and his voice in Top Gun Maverick is made from
right, because I've heard his voice, how it sounds like now in real life, and it's quite similar to that.
No, yeah, they did it they recreated his voice with AI for the movie. And apparently it was incredibly difficult because they had to...
Yeah, he's been working on that for a while, though. He's been part of like an AI company recreating his voice.
Yeah, anyway, we gave away the big spoiler. He's back in this. He lost his voice. A lot of people thought he wouldn't come back because obviously he doesn't act anymore. He hasn't done anything in at least a decade since his battle started. But so originally he wasn't going to be in it. They had thought, look, he doesn't act anymore. We'll just leave him. We'll give him like a nod to his character or something.
Yeah,
and
I honestly thought that we only had the portraits that they showed us. That'll be it, and the text.
Yeah, like a Will Smith's painting in Independence Day Resurgence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but they started kind of making the movie, or I don't know if it was during scripting. I think it was during filming. Maybe they started, and they were like Tom Cruise and the director and everyone was like, this doesn't feel right. Like we can't do this without him. He needs to be here in some form. So they spoke to him and spoke to his wife, and obviously he wanted to do it. And it was just real emotional as well. I think his wife said afterwards that like she was on set when they shot his scenes for this one, and like it's the first time he's acted in a decade at least, and just seeing
people
him
like
do
him
it,
who've acted like at the highest level, really, like that's part of who you are.
Yeah, and it's just to have that kind of taken away from you as a person. Must be a horrible thing to go through. God, it was good to see him. Jesus, it was good to see him.
And he acted really well. Like he actually genuinely, from someone who couldn't like speak for the most part in it, he did a really damn good job. Yeah,
he did. He said a lot without saying anything, which is the sign of a true actor, to be honest. It was great. It's a cameo without being. It would have felt schlocky. Weird with him. It really would have felt odd if. Yeah. Which, to the next point, then, it is odd that I don't know what the explanation is for this. I was trying to look it up, but the best I can find is a couple of throwaway lines about it that basically just said, so in the original Top Gun, Mav's best friend Goose, rest in peace, Goose, we love you. His wife is played by Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Mav's love interest, Charlie, in the original Top Gun is played by Kelly McGillis. Neither of them are in this. It's now they appear in like they do like flashback scenes from the first movie or whatever, and there's shots of Meg Ryan and stuff. Neither of the actors, neither of them come back for this one. Obviously Charlie is replaced by Penny, Jennifer Connelly in this one.
Yeah.
And Meg Ryan's character Carol is just never really mentioned, even though her son is here. No, actually, sorry. Tom Cruise says she's dead.
Yeah, she's dead.
That's
yeah.
true. Never mind.
Both the parents
Mav
are dead.
said
yeah,
she
yeah.
died and she made him promise or whatever. But like Meg Ryan and Kelly McGillis are still acting. It's not like they were, and they just weren't asked. They didn't ever go like,
Yeah.
hey, Meg Ryan, do you want to come back and play Carol again, even just for like a scene? They just didn't ask them. They just were like,
Did you miss them?
no, it's not that I missed them particularly.
It's
like,
just
it's not like
weird
they
that
were.
they did
It's
do
just
like
kind of odd that they didn't. They didn't even ask them. They didn't go like,
See,
do
the
you want
thing
to
is,
even just do a scene or something?
see, I'm really okay with Penny taking over as love interest in that this was his way of stepping onto something new. It was him having not being stuck in that bubble he has created over the decades of being this pilot. This was something new he can move into. That's why the boat was there, a family was there. Like, it's something else for him.
It is, yeah. But it, like, do you find it odd that they don't mention Charlie at all? Like in the first Top Gun, it's a fairly big thing.
Okay. Well, hear me out, right? It's been like 38 years.
It has,
in
yeah.
the, in the universe.
It has,
for us,
yeah.
it's a bit weird as viewers, but for 38 years, like, yeah, you.
No, yeah, it
could've
has.
mentioned
It's
everyone.
just, but like she's a big deal in Maverick's life in the first movie. Like they make a point of it. It's commented on by a lot of people that Maverick has never been in love up until he meets Charlie.
Yeah.
Like he's always the
Maverick.
He's Maverick. You know, he sleeps
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
And he flies jets and he drives motorcycles and he doesn't know what boats are because fuck that. But she's a big thing in his life. She was at that point anyway. I get that it almost 40 years has passed, but it's I don't know. Maybe
For
it's
the
just
viewers,
a little bit weird.
for the viewers, it's a bit odd, I suppose. You know,
It's just, it's not like I needed her to be there or anything. I didn't need them to
you
be
were just
like,
there with your Meg Ryan t-shirt.
yeah, I'm just
going,
like,
where is she?
they ruined Top Gun Maverick. How dare they not bring back Kelly
Yeah.
McGillis as Charlie? I wanted to see Maverick happy and married and settled down, okay?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. It's just like, it's just a mention,
Unusual,
just something.
yeah.
Just be like, even a callback. The one thing, they do callbacks in this. They open on Danger Zone, which I loved, right? There's no fucking around. They don't make you wait for it. The opening credits immediately starts. Kenny Loggins, here we go, Danger Zone, it's Top Gun, you know what we're doing. There's a couple they don't do, and all of them involve Charlie. They don't play The Righteous Brothers, which I was waiting for, kind of, because I love that scene, and it's one of the best songs ever written. Right, You've Lost That Love and Feeling by the Righteous Brothers.
Right.
All right, everybody go listen to that. It's fantastic. There's a couple they miss, but they hit a lot of them. They hit you where it matters. You know, it's got the look and the feel and the power of the original.
It has the
Top Gun.
DNA to a fault. And I think fixed some issues the original one had.
It did. Yeah, it did.
You know what? Sorry, random fact thing, and I should probably maybe bring the J's this moment, but I love the fact that all the actors, when they were in the planes, like there wasn't that much CG done in this whatsoever. Like all the films within the cockpit were done in two-seater like planes, and they had to be up there for a couple of hours at a time with a full rig recording themselves and acting in actual velocity and G-force moments. And I thought that was so bloody cool.
And do you know that's Tom Cruise?
But all of them did, though. That's the
impressive thing. But I bet you, like, Tom Cruise.
Said, yeah.
Tom Cruise was like, "No, we're doing that."
Yeah, okay. You can say Tom Cruise. I think it's actually a financial thing. It costs quite a bit to get them up in the air every time.
Oh no, yeah, well it would, yeah. But like, I mean, Tom Cruise is definitely like, we're doing this. All right.
Yeah, but you can see, especially when he comes off the hangar, and you can just see Cruise being pushed back in the chair from the velocity, and it's just like, it's like testosterone, you know?
Oh, that's what this is. It's just distilled testosterone into a movie. And it's also
so now
very gay.
The real question is, okay, but here's the real question, talking about gay things and testosterone. The touch football. Does it are you happy with...
Is it better than the volleyball scene in
No. We're not going to play what's better, because that's a dumb mark.
Does it live up to the volleyball scene in
is it a good nod to the throne?
It is. It's not as gay
Erotic.
or as erotic as the original volleyball scene was.
Yeah.
But having frequented TikTok recently, many people of all genders are losing their fucking marbles over one shot of Miles Teller in particular during that scene. It's where he does it's like a slow-mo thing of him with the glasses on. He does this weird little like fucking body pop thing, and his abs just pop, and it's like, and everyone's like, dear God, Miles Teller, look at that porno mustache, bringing it back, baby.
The mustache, by the way, works really well.
It suits him.
I thought it would look weird. It suits him. It works really top. Also, I'm just happy to see Miles Teller and not anyone think, oh yeah, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I never.
I think to be honest, he was the Fantastic Four thing in my head for many years.
Yeah, I never had that with him. I guess I've seen him in a lot of things. I never really obviously he was Reed Richards in Fan Four Stick, but I never. It's not like I didn't associate him with that role very much. I love Miles Teller. He's a fantastic actor. Whiplash, if anybody hasn't seen it, is one of the greatest movies of ever. Maybe
I can't watch it. I can't watch it. My anxiety.
Oh no, I get it. It's
just protects me.
It's insanely anxiety-inducing. But it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
I like Miles Teller. He was on a night out in Kilkenny once.
Fair play.
My cousin met him.
What was he doing?
My cousin, he was on the pish. My cousin met him in Kittlers.
Did your cousin meet him, or did he?
She got a photo with him in Kittlers.
Okay, so
you mean she?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that happened. But maybe
you'd hear more about that.
I probably would have heard if that. Yeah, that would have been a big thing, I think.
We should probably explain to people who don't know what we're saying.
Miles Teller once went on a night out in the town.
No. What meeting means? Where we're from.
Oh, Dan is asking if my cousin fucking.
Don't say shift, because that's going to confuse even more people.
Lobbed the gob with Miles Teller.
Yeah, because when you say meeting, it's like a reference to, did you meet her though?
Played tonsil tennis with Miles Teller. She didn't. Yeah, he's great in this, I think. There's the scene where he plays the piano at the start, and Maverick is struck by the memory he has of Goose playing that exact same song at parties. Yeah. You can see the similarities between him and his dad. But the mustache. He looks enough like him that you could go, yeah, that's his kid. Like they're not strikingly alike, but there's enough there that you could go, yeah, that's his dad. He doesn't necessarily. There's moments where he acts a little bit like Goose, but not really.
He's Goose if he was really pissed off with Maverick.
Yeah, he's a lot more subdued than Goose was. But a lot of that is probably down to the fact that he hates Mav for most of this movie.
Because Mav spent a lot of time stopping him from getting higher and higher up in the...
Yeah, Mav pulled his original application to the Navy, and as they say 7 times in the movie, set his career back 4 years, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. God, he's good. I think Glenn Powell to me was the standout. Outside of he's so fucking good in this.
Yeah, he's such a douchebag, but again, it's the douchebag you need in your life. To put a showcase on how good he is in this, without just taking my word for it. The role of Hangman that Glenn Powell was cast in was originally a much smaller part. So Hangman would have been another Payback or Coyote or whatever. He was just a guy that was there. And Glenn Powell turned up on set, and Tom Cruise thought he was so good that they wrote the part of Hangman. They made it a much bigger thing. Because Tom Cruise at one point, I think he said something, he watched him do like a scene, and Tom Cruise was watching from behind the camera or something. He even remarked to everyone, he was like, Jesus, this guy is almost as good at finding the camera as I am. He's just electric in every moment of this movie. Like, it's that grin that he has, that like fucking cocky arrogance. That's what I was about to say. Like what's it? Proud of the cock, or what is it? There's a phrase for like
cock of the walk.
Yeah, cock of the walk. Like, he has that so much in what his character is. Like, it's beautiful to behold.
Yeah, it's truly magnificent.
And again, like, that's that last moment where he comes and saves the day. It's just like You like, 'cause you genuinely don't know what's going to happen. I didn't know. Like, my brain just turned off all logic. Said, I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to die? Is this going to finish it? Is Tom Cruise going to like press the button and get his friend's son out there and he dies and this is the end of Maverick, but his friend's son might survive, and then just out of nowhere, that's his southern drawl, like,
and it's great.
Wow, fellas.
It's great that it's him as well, because the whole movie they drive home the point that he's called Hangman because he will leave you there.
Yeah,
like that's his thing. He's known as like he's a brilliant pilot. And he's cocky and he knows what he's doing. He's great at flying, but he will leave his wingman there if he has to. He will abandon you. It's kind of like Maverick.
Yeah, but the thing is, we talk about the whole movie about how Maverick is kind of a twist on the idea that passing the baton, but Maverick's main goal was really to build a team, and he succeeded.
Yeah,
like he didn't make any of them as good as he was. Maverick's still the best pilot, but that's not the point.
No, so that's the clash of goals right from the start. The guy called
Maverick, who's a Maverick, made the best.
But his like the clash of goals right from the start is that the Navy want the mission to succeed. Mav wants them all to come home.
Yeah,
like that's his big thing. All right, I guess it's probably stems from losing Goose, and as he remarks at some point, he says to Rooster, like, if you fly long enough, you're going to lose people. So it's implied that he's lost other wingmen and people have died. He's been in hundreds of combat missions. It's going to happen. So Maverick's big thing is, I don't care so much about the mission succeeding. I want these kids to come home. I'm teaching them to come home. I'm not. I'm right. We'll run the mission. I'll teach them how to fly. But this is how I get this. The way I'm teaching them, I get them home. And the Navy are kind of like, they don't outright say that they don't care about that, but they're like, they don't respond when he brings it up. It's kind of like, it's a mission. It's not designed for anybody to come home. It's a suicide mission, basically.
Yeah.
And Mav's like, no, I'm getting these kids out of there. Never mind the fact that Rooster is
America let another country have nuclear refinery.
Yeah, the enemy.
No.
The enemy cannot have nukes. All right, whoever the enemy are, which is a touch I quite liked, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, they kept it. Yeah,
they didn't bother naming anyone. I guess. I wonder, did they talk about that? Were they like, well, listen, right? If we say it's the Russians, that's going to cause trouble. If we we can't really say it's North Korea.
I think a lot of people say it's China.
Yeah, if we say it's China, we're going to piss off like that whole market. It doesn't matter who the enemy are. It doesn't really matter. Like, it's not important at all.
You never meet any of the characters.
No, it's not. They're not. They're just a shadowy figure that like gives the guys something to unite against. They're not really important who they are or where they're from. People have figured it out, I believe. I haven't read them, but there are articles out there that somebody has done the detective work and kind of supposedly figured out where the enemy are from, but not important. All right.
I feel like if the creators say, look, there isn't really one, you can find out the most likely one, but it's not the truth.
Yeah, you're not right. Like,
these aren't factual events.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, should we do Jay's moments then?
Yeah, Jay's moments.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I haven't forgotten. I'm bringing it back, all right, because I have a Jay's moment.
I'll mention my moment because it's not a big one.
Okay, all right, okay.
It's not so much a Jay's moment. It's a moment I really enjoyed when Maverick gets thrown out of the bar, and then the next day when he gets introduced to everyone there, and he comes in as the teacher, and all the people that threw him out just kind of look at him going, oh shit.
Yeah, see, that's a callback to the first movie that I liked because it's subtle, but it plays out. It's the same scene as when Mav hits on Charlie the first time in the bar, and he sings the song, and then he follows into the bathroom, and he comes in and he's sitting in the seat as a student, and Charlie walks in, and he does Hangman has the exact same reaction to seeing Mav walk in, and he kind of sinks down in his chair a little bit and like tilts his head. He's like, fuck, shit, I threw this guy out of the bar last night, kind of thing, and I called him an old man and stuff. And that's a good scene. I liked it. Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
Okay, so Penelope Penny Benjamin, the Admiral's daughter, and Pete Maverick Mitchell, they make love in this movie.
They do.
There is a
A lot of pillow talk.
Non-sex scene.
Yeah, I feel like the sex happened just before that.
It's
and just like
no. It's hilarious. It's like they shot a sex scene. It's like somebody tried to edit hardcore pornography into a softcore movie. Is what it looks like. It's like they shot the scene and they were like, nah, we don't need that, and they tried to edit around it, and it's a weird. It's like 20. It's not even 20 seconds. I'd say it's 10 to 15 seconds of this weird like cross-faded. Like their heads are floating in the air at one point, and it's just them looking at each other, and then they lie down and they kiss, kind of a little peck, and then it just like slow fades or like cross fades into them like it's over and they're lying in bed talking to each other.
Yeah,
it's just hilarious.
Okay, I agree with that. But I would also say, like, this is Maverick as an older man. This is more the things he wants now. Like, he has been awoken to like having been in love with people. That's what the whole Meg Ryan character is about. Whereas before he was he fucks around and gets those notches on his belt. Whereas now he's just like he's an older man. He just kind of has sex, enjoys, but like a big part of it is now the emotional factor, which he has grown to enjoy.
I get that. I'm not talking about them lying in bed afterwards.
You just think the editing was weird.
The way they edited it, they could have it would have been better. So the moment right before it is, he pulls up outside her house on the bike. She gets off and she walks in, and she walks into the house and she leaves the front door open, as in like, hey, come on in, big boy, kind of thing. And then we get a shot of Mav kind of thinking about it briefly before he gets off the bike.
Never.
From there, just cut to the next morning. They just do this really awkward, weird thing where there's like floating heads and people are just kind of smiling at each other coyly, and it's like, what? Like,
here's an interesting one, right?
They're either show it or don't. Like, this is weird.
I think there's a plot hole here, by the way, as well. When he falls out the window and like he stands up and is like, it's Penny's daughter, and she looks at him very sincere in her teenage way and says, "Don't break her heart again." And I'm just like, last time they dated was like 40 plus years ago. Like, how in tune are you with?
No, they Penny, when they first meet in the bar, Penny, they have a conversation about it. So it's kind of like it's like an on again, off again type thing. Like whenever Mav is back home or like around the base or wherever, they end up getting together, and then Mav leaves. He's going on some mission, and he's like, or they're sending me to some other base somewhere or whatever, and she gets her heart broken. And
Iraq twice.
Yeah, that's why this time she starts it off being like, let's just not start this time, because we know how it ends. It's happened before a few times. Yeah. So I think that's what the daughter's talking about. That.
Okay, yeah. No, I was about to say, she has some real deep insight about her mother. Like, don't break my mother's heart. She broke 42 years ago. What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought just the way they cut that together was just, I laughed in the cinema. I was like, what is this?
But otherwise, outside of that cut, I think that was actually quite good of how they did it. I think him being more interested in like a more companion thing works. Yeah,
it does. I mean, he's the same Mav, but he's not.
He's,
you know what I mean? He has grown.
Yeah, those things. Exactly. But even like in the last movie, we had him grow. Oh, like, that's the whole point. He fell in love with someone. He didn't like just hit on everyone after that.
Yeah.
Here's the question. It's probably not part of it. Well, we'll leave it to the last.
All right then. Let's
final
do
thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Throttle. It's over now.
What's your question, Dan?
Do you think we're going to get more sequels soon?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we're gonna. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get a direct sequel to this.
No, I think it's going to be like maybe Tom Cruise appears once in a while, but I don't think it's going to be
I think
Tom Cruise specific movie.
I think what's most likely is that we get a TV series. I think we get some sort of, not an anthology, maybe. I honestly think we get like a Top Gun Academy on fucking whatever. Some streaming platform will be like a 10-episode season of the new Kids on the Block
Honestly,
in
it sounds
Top Gun
great.
kind of thing. I do
I'd watch
think
that,
I do,
man.
honestly do. I really, because this is making so much money now, and it happens with everything. It's inevitable. Like
Yeah,
anything that makes money now,
it needs to be
there's
a
gonna be.
franchise.
I would not be like. I would be the least surprised ever if I typed into Google right now Top Gun TV show, and there was an article that popped up and said Paramount announces Top Gun TV series in the works for Paramount Plus or whoever the fuck made this. I don't know. Is it Paramount? It's not even Paramount. I don't know who it is. It is Paramount. I was right. Yes, Paramount Plus doing Top Gun TV show produced by Tom Cruise or something. Like there's probably. I would not be surprised. So I do think we'll get more Top Gun. I don't think it would I don't think it'll be a sequel to this one, but there will be more Top Gun things. There might be like there'll be some stupid spin-off thing, like fucking Rooster will get his own movie or like something. We'll get Top Gun The Enemy.
And like it's like pure stormtrooper, so we never seen them without.
They never take their helmets off. They don't talk. They're just these robotic.
They just do hand signs all the time, like.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, I think we do get it. Okay, so you said you had some thoughts on which
preference
you have between Top Gun or Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, so I rewatched the original Top Gun and I really enjoyed it this time around. I think this one was maybe because of hindsight and maybe because actors have now been in Hollywood for a longer time and can have input like Tom Cruise. I think it's better crafted this time. It's almost more of a Top Gun movie than the previous Top Gun movie was, but not in a bad cheesy way. In a good cheesy way. Like I said, I kind of compare it to Cobra Kai. Like, don't take me wrong, I love the Karate Kid, but I prefer Cobra Kai TV show to it.
So it's hard. It's hard for me. I don't honestly think I could say which one I prefer. I love them
both.
Both
Excellent though, which is great.
Like I've always loved Top Gun, and this far exceeded any expectations I ever had for a Top Gun sequel. To be honest, they're both great. I think Top Gun Maverick is probably a better put together movie.
Yeah.
The ending of Maverick is more thrilling than the ending of the first Top Gun. I do think a lot of that probably has to do with technology. It's like some of the sequences and stuff in Top Gun Maverick, obviously they couldn't have done it in 1986. But I love Top Gun.
It's a great movie.
It's Top Gun. I've always loved Top Gun. I don't know. I don't think I could pick one, which is a great problem to have, to be honest. I
Here's
thought
an interesting thing.
Shite. Like, I'm so surprised that it's this good.
Here's an interesting thing. Top Gun Maverick. Without you checking, if you already know, well, we'll just continue talking. What's the budget?
Top Gun Maverick. It was like 160, 170 million.
170 million, which I was shocked by. I definitely thought it'd be more expensive, but for a big movie like this, that's quite a low budget event, really.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. It sounds weird to say a $170 million budget is low.
Yeah, but for a movie like this, it's quite low budget nowadays.
What was?
It's not. I'm not saying bootstrap sort of budget, but like
the original Top Gun, the budget was 15 million,
which with inflation,
200 billion.
yeah, genuinely though, probably,
yeah. This is it's great. It surprised me at how much
we had a good time. I was surprised how much of a good time I had as well with it. You know,
there was two gentlemen sitting in front of me in the cinema when I went to see it.
What age were they?
They were mid-30s, I would say.
Okay, yeah.
Mid to late 30s. I'd say they were like kids when Top Gun came out. Maybe they were a little bit older, maybe, but they were ecstatic throughout the entirety of this thing. And it hit the end credits came up, the lights came up in the cinema, and they both just looked at each other. And I was sitting right behind them, and they just kind of looked at each other for like a long moment of pause, and then
then you went ahead and put your hand on both their shoulders.
It's okay.
So
guys,
where are we going now?
Okay. And they kind of, it was like something out of the movie. They kind of nodded at each other, and the guy on the right
One
just
grew a mustache.
Yep. The
out
guy
of nowhere.
The guy on the right just went, "That was the best experience I've ever had in a cinema." And the other guy went, "Yep, Top Gun." And they both got up and left. And I was like, "Fucking
you know what?
yeah."
You know, fair folks. Yeah. You know what? I love that people got so into this movie, because you know what? It doesn't get lost in this. Oh, we have to add a super amount of depth to this character, like a lot of modern movies. It's high octane, simple goals, simple issues movie, and it works.
It's a blockbuster.
It's
a blockbuster like
and not a schlocky.
No, but it's
either.
a blockbuster like they used to make them. When blockbusters were. They were big, right? They were big movies, and they cost a lot of money, and there was spectacle, but they all had heart. There was always something in them. There was the moment. Do you know what I mean? There was the characters had something, and Jesus, it's good. God, it's good to see it. I hope they make. Not that they make more Top Gun sequels. I hope they make more movies like this again.
Yeah.
Just give me another one, man. Give me another just big. Robust, I will say this: cheesy action.
I mean, look, the one we're not mentioning, we kind of have mentioned before. It's Marvel movies have taken.
They've taken the place.
I'll say this though. Marvel that might have been true 5 years ago. Now I think Marvel has become such a genre of itself that I think it's moving off to the side. Like other movies aren't competing with it anymore in that genre. It's not anymore just an action hero genre. It's its own genre altogether. So I don't think other movies feel like, oh no, we have to like make movies like it to compete, except for like DC. You know?
Speaking of DC, the trailer for Black Adam came out today.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
It looks like shit. So stick that in your fucking pipe, The Rock.
Yeah.
You prick. How dare you look like that and have that much money?
We're actually quite big fans of The Rock here. He was a childhood hero.
He was a childhood hero, yeah. The Rock versus Stone Cold. There's a discussion we need to have sometime. Who's the better? We'll just do an episode where we talk about WWF.
Excuse me. I think you forgot The Undertaker exists.
I think so you find somebody else to replace me again and do a show about the Attitude Era in the WWF, all right? And I'll just listen to it afterwards. I'll my comments.
Do one on the East.
Do you want to know what I think of Obi-Wan?
TW as well. Oh, you hate it, I'm sure.
No, I don't hate it.
You just don't think it's much, then?
I think it's fine. It's all right, like, so far. I haven't watched today's one. I'm going to watch it now after this. I think it's fine. I think it's... So far, it's kind of emblematic of the main problems I have with Star Wars as a whole. Lately.
My main issue is
okay.
it's not only major issue. I love it in general, but I think my major issue, it's a little linear in the way like video games are. Like it's quite like a linear video game. Like there is not much you can get out of. You know where it ends up. You know where it starts.
Yeah,
and you have to do a few things in between. I think Leia is fantastic.
She's great.
Who plays Leia.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
Wonderful.
Fair play to her.
Yeah. Oh, like I've heard people giving out. Why did you have to be so snotty? It's like, have you watched?
Have you
Star Wars?
Met Leia? Yeah, I don't. No, it's not like it's. I'm not trying to slight anybody involved in making it, or there's nothing actively wrong with the show. Right?
It's just not itching.
It's just that. It's just to me like. All Star Wars has become now is, hey, remember this guy? Remember this person? Remember this character? Here's this person. And
that's fair after a lot of stuff we've got. But to be fair, the Obi-Wan thing was the thing people have wanted even before we started getting
I don't really care off
franchise things.
It's just to me that's what Star Wars has become, and I just it's annoying. That's all.
Okay.
Anyway, what are we doing next? I actually don't have a fucking clue.
Here's the thing, right?
honest with you.
I know what I want to do next. I'm going to mention it, and I'm going to put it in a hot soup so we can't get out of it.
A hot soup?
I want us to start doing our Lord of the Rings.
A hot soup?
Viewing. Okay, let's focus on what I just said. Not say hot soup.
You just said hot soup. That's what you said.
Okay.
You want us to start? You want to start now?
Yes, I think we should.
All right.
So for the folks that don't know, Owen and I have been planning on watching all Lord of the Rings movies. No, I think you're mistaken. I'm not just talking about the trilogy.
I worry you misheard me. I said all the Lord of the Rings that you have.
Yes, we are going to watch the animated ones. We're going to look into anything we can and spend a month or two on it because, look, it's an anniversary with the Lord of the Rings at the moment. Might as well bloody use it.
Yeah, and the Amazon Prime TV show is coming out in September.
Yeah.
These might not be... There might be a break in between because we were planning on doing... Like Thor, I think we were going to do, and there's some things coming out we might do in the middle. But yeah, we're going to do all of them. We're going to do the animated weird ones, including the fucking Soviet era thing that they made.
I want to, the live action Soviet thing. I want to watch that one.
There's an anime out there. We'll probably watch that one. Then we'll do the Hobbit trilogy, and then we'll do the Peter Jackson original trilogy in all of their glory.
Yes,
and then if we are still alive, we might do the TV show. Let's see when we come to that. So maybe we'll start with one of those next. It's coming up. It's going to take us a while to watch them.
Bar for the main trilogy of the Lord of the Rings, which one should we start with? It's up to you. Weird anime one, weird cartoon one, or weird Eastern European / Soviet era live action Lord of the Rings movie. You get to decide.
Yeah, it's a tough decision, I know. But let us know in the comments. Dan will be back at some point this week, I'm sure, with
I'll be back tomorrow with Kevin.
Yep, my betrayer, Kevin, will be back tomorrow. Kevin.
Well, when are we actually releasing this? This is a good question. When are we releasing this one?
Right now. It's live. We're live, Dan.
Oh, shit. Honestly, because we've messed with Twitch before. I was in OBS the other day. I was recording for another podcast, and I clicked streaming instead of recording. I just thought for a second, did this just accidentally go onto like Twitch or something?
You were live on Twitch for several hours. It was very entertaining. Yeah, it was fun.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. So we'll be back. Dan will be back with the other guy at some point this week.
Yeah, Kevin.
And I'll be back at some point. So look forward.
Okay, you haven't answered. When is this episode coming out?
You can look forward to one of those things, I guess. And we will see you guys then.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Asher, look. It's a big rent.